in this session, we are going to focus on one more important, you can say, topic, which is called as AWS Aurora. So what is AWS Aurora? Before going to start with AWS Aurora, I want to show you the previous diagram, which we learn related to the RDS, right? So in the RDS, if you focus, in the RDS, if you focus, the RDS, relational databases, is one kind of instance or one kind of virtual machine. Got it? And in which there are multiple relational databases are available. It may be a MySQL, it may be a PostgreSQL, it may be a Oracle, it may be a SQL Server, it may be a it may be a Amazon Aurora, right? So if you want to just see, I will show you. Just give me 1 minute. When you are clicking on the create database, you will get the idea. Yeah. When you are clicking on the create database, just scroll down. And in the engine option, you please see either you can select Amazon Aurora, NoSQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, MariaDB, and MySQL Server. In the last session, when we created the RDS, we have selected MySQL. Right now, we want to focus on what is Amazon Aurora. Got it? So please try to understand. This Amazon Aurora is come under the engine option, or this is also called as engine type. But which engine type? This is the engine type of a relational database, which is called as RDS, right? So try to concentrate on what is Amazon Aurora. So Amazon Aurora, first statement you can give, Amazon Aurora is one kind of relational database, right? What is my relational database? So relational database is just like as RDS, it is one virtual machine, is called as one instance, right? But when you are going to focus on the Amazon Aurora is not an instance. Try to understand. Amazon Aurora is not an instance, it is a relational database. It is a relational database, right? Or it is an engine, or it is an engine, right? Or it is a type of engine. It is a type of engine which is come under the RDS. It is a type of engine which come under RDS. So first point, you got the clear idea. If anybody asks what is the difference between AWS Aurora and RDS, you can give the answer in a straightforward way. RDS is a relational databases, right? Which is kind of one instance, which is kind of virtual machine, in which we can use MySQL, PostgreSQL, NoSQL, MariaDB, AWS Aurora, this type of, you can say, engine, and we can connect with our RDS instance, right? So this was we already covered in the previous session. Now our target is to learn what is AWS Aurora. So this is very, very important because most of the people are using AWS Aurora and DynamoDB in the market, right? So what is the AWS Aurora? AWS Aurora is a type of engine which is come under the relational database, and it is also called as RDS. Now the question is why AWS Aurora is required, right? Or why people using the AWS Aurora in the market. Now just try to understand. Suppose you people are using the Facebook application, right? From minimum 5 to 6 years, or minimum 10 years, right? You people are using the Facebook application from minimum 5 to 6 years, right? So is it happen in the 5 to 6 years time period? Okay, your account information is deleted, means automatically your post is deleted, automatically your profile is deleted, your information is not available in your profile. Is it happen? No, because they are storing, means your client, your your Facebook is storing each and every information or each and every customer in a secure manner, or you can say in a proper manner, right? If you people are handling, or you can say using or accessing your Facebook account from any region, right? Or you can say from anywhere, still you are getting the same response, the same profile photo, same information, same post. How is it happen? How is it happen, right? So for that purpose, we learn two concepts called as availability and scalability, right? But we learn that availability and scalability with respect to the instance, right? Means if you want to make your instance available or scalable, we are just creating the replicas in all the ability zone. Means for example, we are at Mumbai region, right? Under the Mumbai, there are three regions. Under the Mumbai, there are three ability zone: AP South 1, AP South 2, AP South 3, or ABC. Got it? When we are creating the replica, or when we are enabling the multi-zone ability, it means that the instance replica is creating in each and every, you can say, ability zone. Got it? Similarly, as I mentioned, this ability is with respect to the instance, but your AWS Aurora is not an instance. Yesterday I mentioned the RDS is an instance. RDS is just like as your virtual machine. You can create a multiple instance in a multiple availability zone, right? In the previous session, we tried also. When we created the RDS, means we created instance only. When we enable the availability zone, it means that we have created the replicas only. Got it? So this part is covered. But if anybody asks the question, Maybe they will ask you, AWS Aurora is an instance? No, it's not an instance. RDS is instance, but AWS Aurora is not an instance. It's a relational database, or it's a type of engine which is come under RDS. That's why AWS Aurora is not, you can say, instance. And we know how to make your instance available in multiple zone. But what is the problem? Now the problem is AWS Aurora is not an instance. And if you want to make your data available in multiple regions, multiple availability zone, how you can make that things, or you can say how you can do these things, right? Because you want to make your data available. Again, I am repeating, if you launch your Facebook application on one instance, right, you can make a replica of that instance in a different region, so anybody from anywhere can access your Facebook application. This is the separate thing. But what is the another thing? Another thing is that as a Facebook consists huge of data, as a Facebook consists huge of data, that data is come under AWS Aurora. That data is come under the AWS Aurora, or this is the AWS Aurora database, right? And the database is not instance, so we cannot create a replica by using AWS instance replica. So for that purpose, if you want to make a replica of our AWS Aurora, how we can do, right? How we can do? So this solution is provided by AWS by giving the solution called as AWS Aurora. Again, I'm little bit confusing, but it's very simple. Try to understand. हम लोगों ने क्या किया था, सपोज फेसबुक एप्लीकेशन आपको किसी भी जगह से एक्सेस करना है, तो हम लोगों ने उस फेसबुक एप्लीकेशन का एपी साउथ 1, एपी साउथ 2, एपी साउथ 3 ये तीनों रीजन पे रेप्लिका क्रिएट किया था। तो आप किसी भी रीजन में जाते हो, वहां से आपको फेसबुक एप्लीकेशन एक्सेस करना है, तो इंस्टेंटली यू कैन एक्सेस योर एप्लीकेशन। गॉट इट? सो दिस इज द सेपरेट पार्ट। मीन्स हम लोगों ने क्या किया था, उस इंस्टेंस का रेप्लिका क्रिएट किया था। गॉट इट? बट प्रॉब्लम क्या है, अभी आपका डेटाबेस है, हम लोग एडब्ल्यूएस के डेटाबेसेस पढ़ रहे हैं। गॉट इट? सो एडब्ल्यूएस का डेटाबेस, उसकी रेप्लिका क्रिएट करनी है, एंड ये डेटाबेस इंस्टेंस नहीं है। एडब्ल्यूएस अरोरा एक इंस्टेंस नहीं है, तो इंस्टेंस नहीं है तो उसके रेप्लिका हम कैसे क्रिएट करेंगे? गॉट इट? तो एडब्ल्यूएस ने एक सॉल्यूशन दिया है कि एडब्ल्यूएस अरोरा ये इंस्टेंस नहीं है, बट स्टिल इसकी कैपेबिलिटी, इसकी कैपेसिटी है टू क्रिएट द मल्टीपल इंस्टेंसेस। गॉट इट? सो नाउ आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू। See, suppose this is your client. This client wants to launch their application. Which application? Facebook application. Got it? This client wants to this client wants to launch their application on this AWS EC2 instance. On this EC2 instance, suppose you have your AWS Aurora. Try to understand. What is this? This is your AWS Aurora. Means your Facebook application information, or you can say this is your Facebook, all the users data we have stored into the AWS Aurora. Got it? What will happen when your AWS Aurora will create? It will automatically create the replicas of your database. It will automatically create the replicas of your database. So the question is, how many replica it will create? So it will create the 15 replica. Try to understand. How many replica it will create? It will create the 15 replica. And might be in the yesterday session, I forgot to explain. When you are using the RDS, it was creating how many replica? It was creating only 5 replica. It was creating only 5 replica. But when you are using the AWS Aurora, it is creating the 15 replica. Means suppose you are the client or you are the user, you have created your Facebook account, right? You are storing your profile picture, you are uploading your profile picture. So what will happen in this Aurora DB? In this Aurora DB, right? For user A, profile picture, username, password, post, likes, comments, and everything will store. Same thing will happen for user 2. Same thing will happen for user 3, right? So this database is your Aurora database. What is this? This is your Aurora database, but this is a write operation. Here you can perform the write and read operation, but you can say write operation. Once you have a write permission, means by default you have read permission also. Try to understand what I'm saying. When you have a write permission, means by default you have read permissions also in the AWS Aurora. Again, I am repeating. Suppose you are the user XYZ. You created your account in AWS. You created your account in the Facebook. You are creating a username, you are creating a password, you are going to upload your profile picture, you are going to post something. So where this data will store? This data will store in the AWS Aurora. Got it? This database will store in the AWS Aurora DB. But just try to understand, this Facebook is launched on particular EC2 instance. That instance replicas are also available. But how you can access this data from multiple places? Why we want to handle or access this data from the multiple places? Because due to some disaster or due to some earthquake problem, your database crashed. your Aurora database crashed. What will happen? Facebook have n number of users. That n number of database will be vanish. N number of users having a database will delete. And if the database will delete, right, maybe user need to create account again. New when means maybe again the user wants to create a new account. User wants to upload new profile. Means each and everyone each and everyone wants to perform the repeated activities. Got it? Why this problem is happen? This problem is happen due to earthquake problem or any disaster issue. This Aurora database deleted, right? Then maybe this client will be in the trouble. Maybe this Facebook client, or you can say you people are will be in the client. You can say in the trouble. For that purpose, AWS, what AWS is doing? AWS Aurora, AWS Aurora will create a 15 replica. AWS Aurora will create a 15 replica. So I'm just creating a few sample replicas. Suppose this is the first, second, third, and up to the 15 replica. So AWS will create the 15 replica. So these replicas is called as tier 0, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, up to the tier 14. You got it? Why up to the tier 14? Because there are 15 replica. If the replica start with 0, then you can reach up to the tier 14, right? So the tier 0 is having a highest, you can say, precedence. Tier 0 is having a highest precedence. Means you are getting the response from tier 0 only. But due to some problem, if your tier 0 vanish, automatically precedence will come to the tier 1. Means when the next time onwards you will request to the Facebook, I want to see my profile picture, I want to post something, right? You will get a response from your tier 1. Got it? Suppose tier 0 and tier 1 is also fail, you will get the response from tier 2. It means that Amazon Aurora is a strong database which is provided by the AWS. Due to the disaster, earthquake problem, or any problem, if you fail to access the data, if you fail, your client fail, your users fail to access the data from the first replica, automatically control goes over to the second replica, and you will get the response from second, third, fourth, or you can say up to the 15th replica. Got it? And the first replica, tier 0, having precedence is more. By default, you will get a response from tier 0. Tier 0 is a write and read replica. Tier 0 is a write and write replica actually. And once it is write replica, means by default, you can read the data also, right? And all the other replicas are called as a read replica only. All the other replicas are called as a read replica only. Got it? So this is total about the AWS Aurora. Again, I am repeating what you want to remember about the AWS Aurora. Maybe someone will ask you, as AWS RDS is available, as DynamoDB is available, as Redshift is available, but why you are going with the AWS Aurora? Then you need to give the answer. If you want to work up to the 64 terabytes of data, right? If you want to handle a 64 TB of data, then we can go with the AWS Aurora or AWS RDS. These are the two things. If you want to, or don't say 64 TB, if you want to handle a data up to the terabytes, you can go with the AWS Aurora or you can go with the RDS. This is the first thing, right? If you want to create a simple instance and you want to use MySQL DB only, then you can go with the RDS. But again, question. See, try to remember these things are very carefully. Yeah? What I'm explaining. If anybody asks the question, when you can go with the S3, when you can go with the RDS, when you can go with the Aurora, when you can go with the Redshift, right? Or as a solution architect, आप लोगों को database selection proper आना चाहिए, right? So I'm repeating again, when you can go with the RDS. If your client said strictly we want MySQL data only, strictly we want MySQL relational database only, you can go with the RDS. But you can convey to your client, if you can go with the RDS, maybe you will get less performance. Then you can select the AWS Aurora, right? But try to remember, AWS Aurora is costly as compared to RDS. Why it is costly? Now I will explain you why it is costly. See, so two popular and hot relational databases are MySQL and second one is PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL. See, if you just focus towards the AWS Aurora, right? AWS Aurora MySQL is 3 times faster. Is a 3 times faster. And Postgres SQL in the AWS Aurora is a 5 times faster. Is a how many times faster? Is a 5 times faster. Try to understand. Means if you are using the RDS, in the RDS also you are using the MySQL, right? Suppose that MySQL performance is 2%. Suppose the MySQL performance is 2% in the RDS. In the AWS Aurora, how many percentage performance you will get? 3 times, mean 2 into 3 is equal to 6% higher than the relational databases. Try to understand. If you are going with the RDS, suppose you are getting the MySQL performance is 100%. In the AWS Aurora, MySQL performance or database access performance, you will get 3 times of RDS. This is the first one. AWS Aurora, in which if you are going with the PostgreSQL, you will get a 5 times performance as compared to the RDS. That's why if your database is strong, if your database is huge, you want to give a quick response. And if you are able to pay an extra amount, then you can suggest to your client, you can go with the AWS Aurora. If your client is small, right, he's okay with this performance, he's okay with this payment, then you can suggest you can go with the RDS, right? And in AWS Aurora, what I explained, in the AWS Aurora, it is creating the 15 replica. In the RDS, it is creating 5 replicas only. Got it? So this theoretical way you need to remember. So these are the 15 replica. First replica is by default tier 0, having a precedence is more as compared to the tier 14 replica. Got it? So each and everything we are going to handle under the RDS only, because AWS Aurora is under the RDS only. Because RDS having a type of engine are different. Relational databases are different. Out of that, there is a AWS Aurora. Right? So hope so you got the clear idea. It's a little bit confusing, but once you watch this video 2-3 times now, you will get the clear idea. What is the AWS Aurora when we go with the AWS Aurora?